Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. And before we get started, we're going to quickly run through the VIP results from last week. Some of the free setups were sent onto the free channel, so if you guys are not in there, please check the description down below and join. It's free. We do send up some analysis. We send some trade setups where I was trying to sort of send something out. I believe it was here, and then I ended up adding some more. I believe it was for CPI. I think it was this trade right here. We had a buy limit for CPI that we were looking for a bullish move, and then everyone else jumped in, and you can see it was absolutely crazy. Managed to make a decent amount of gain on the copy trader. So if you guys wanted to get involved in that, don't forget to find this message on the free channel. It's got a link to explaining how to join, and this was pretty much the move. Like a quick recap based off CPI, we seen that price wanted to push up towards a weekly high. It did get above the weekly high, and then we were expecting for price to then pull back down on that same day. And if we can get that, we can get a nice bullish move if it was within our time range for entries. And it was actually, to be honest, it was like half an hour, I believe, after. Yes, it was a little bit after, but because it was CPI, I was thinking that, yeah, it was worth a try. Let's get involved in this move, and we should have the volume to see this move go up for the rest of that evening. And that's exactly what happened. So price did clear that high, clear the weekly high, push back up towards this high here, and then we were happy to close the trade. We also did the same thing on US 30, I believe. We managed to see if we can get some moves back down, and we got decent. I believe it's 4%. This was a bit of a typo here, but it's total 4%. We could have potentially had 5%, which is technically half of a trading challenge, which is absolutely amazing. And this is just mainly like kind of risking 0.5% towards 1%. If you even risk more than that, you would have been able to sort of smash it out of the park there. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, obviously all transparency right here. We were trying to sort of get some more bullish moves. I think it was just towards the end of the week we should have just thought about it, but I was just too much in a flow trying to get that bullish move going, and then the market just wasn't sort of cooperating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the charts, quickly show you guys what we were obviously looking for and where we were sort of taking it. So you can see Wednesday here, this was a bullish move where we were looking for price to sort of push back up, which it did. Yes, bonus, price came back down, retested this level, pushed higher, and then we were just getting pure bullish move from then. So now it's Thursday here. This is where we were trying to find that bullish move. I believe it was from this area here. Price did spike us out and then push up, so that was a nasty move here, but then we managed to get some good sort of profit on US 30, which was able to cover that. But then it was Friday here, which was quite a confusing day here, where price did retrace into this 1 hour fair value gap here. I believe it's this one here, and then you can see that price managed to got back out of it. And I think there was another 1 hour fair value gap here where I was marking. Yep, price closed above, came back down. We waited for that New York open to get this bullish move. And again, we knew that we had London high here, we had Asia high still here, and they're all still intact. So we wanted to see price go and attack it. Price did get close to it, managed to take some profits off. This was a nice, decent sort of, I believe it was a 60, 70 pip move there on Friday. But then what ended up happening is that price did end up falling back down, and it was here where obviously being a bullish bias move, and we're knowing that the Asia liquidity is still intact. It didn't go above it or anything. Looking at the actual highs and the OHLC of this candle here, the high of this candle was actually 2717.37, and the high of this one was 2717.38. So literally 1.00 hundredth of a point, whatever you want to say, it didn't go above it at all. It was just one below. So this is where we're expecting that price is pulling back to give us a nice PM session, sort of getting ready for next week. But no, that's not exactly what happened. Price came, activated our limits here, our initial limits, which were missed from this move because we manually entered. Price came back down, activated it, and what did it do? Just dragged us back out. So it was at that point where I just said to the VIPs, we only enter in our time range, forget about the other moves. It just provides better probability, and that it's good catching that at the start of the year. Again, this is stuff that has happened in the year before, but you just don't, when it comes to trading, sometimes you just get a bit brain fog when you're just like, yeah, you know what, this could activate and could go up, so let's see what we can do. But sometimes it could just absolutely drag you back down, which is what it did. Other than that, we're happy to say that we were obviously in profit at the end of the week. So what's next? It's going into next week. Let's just switch back up to the daily time frame. Let's quickly not reload the page. Let's alter that. And now what we can see is that pretty much we are now following definitely a bullish outlook here. I'm not going to be thinking about anything else at the moment other than bullish moves unless price falls back below 26.50 on the daily time frame right there. Right, other than that, it's just pure bullish moves now from now on. So going into next week, I'll be looking for that. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. Actually, we can keep that there. And let's keep that there. So as you can see, gold has been pushing up. Right, this is how I sort of do my analysis. We see price pulling back down to this weekly fair value gap. This was a stepping stone for price to push up. It then broke a swing point right here, which called for a bullish move, which potentially tapped back into this daily fair value gap, pushed back up one higher. Okay, fine. But then what happened? It was towards the end of the year. What happened? Price sort of gave a pullback back to fill this daily fair value gap again. That is fine. It can do that, collect some liquidity, charge up again. And what did it do after it jumped from this daily fair value gap? It started to push back up again, which is telling us that what's price doing? It's still moving in flow like this. Yeah, it's getting back up. It's actually charging. It's actually creating a potential bull flag if you think about it, because it's just like, you know, charging in its way, and it could potentially make for a breakout right here. So what's also aiding us is if you drop down in the lower time frames now, you can start to see that we have equal highs being created at these levels. They're not being cleared. They're not being spiked out. They're being, so it's liquidity generation. That's what we're getting from here, and price is sort of pushing up. Now it's potentially pulling back towards the end of obviously on Friday. So if you mark at this fib right here, you can see that 50% of this impulse move that we ended up getting from Monday all the way to Friday, or Thursday, I guess that's the high, the 50% level is right here. It's also across a previous daily low. Why is that significant, always you say? Let's have a look and look at that previous daily low. So this is a Thursday. This is a PDL. Obviously that was obviously on Friday. It's not PDL anymore. That's Thursday's low. But then what's in between Thursday and Tuesday? We have another imbalance. So we mark that up right there. Go into the daily fair value gap. Drag that across like so. And you can see that that's also within discount, within the daily fair value gap, and within an order block. As you can see, we had a big push down and a big push back up. So a lot of confirmations there. So that is where I'll be looking for to get in another buy. And guess what? If I go into my Telegram and I scroll up and I find this right here, it's the same thing. I was saying either we get a bullish move from here. If it fails, we then wait for the next move below that Thursday low. Sorry. And you can see there's an hour fair value gap as well to be filled in to help us. So that's at 26.90. So if we go back to Chrome, we could look at 26.90. It's right at the top of the daily fair value gap right here. So that's what I'm expecting going into next week. I'm looking for price to keep pushing down at the start of the week, get back into this area, fill this daily fair value gap, you know, have it, you know, dance around a bit. And let's say it does something like this, like that, and then our main targets from then is just to clear out all of these highs if it doesn't do that on Monday. If what happens on Monday and we start getting that push up like this, then I'm not expecting price to push back down, because it could have done that. It could have pushed down first, but it didn't need to. It's already broken structure again and moving back up. So we need to adapt on what the market shows us and what the market tells us, and then sort of react based off that. But if we don't get that, we wait for the classic 50% pullback back into discount, retest this order block here. We've got loads of confirmations on the smaller time frame right here, and guess what? This is actually the CPI retest as well, because this is the CPI right here where price pushed down and then push back up. Price could be potentially pushing back to that CPI and then pushing back from there. And again, just to recap, if price wants to do this, then I'll be expecting price to continue. So we watch these swing points, watch these levels, but all in all, let's wait for this pullback and then let's fly again. Yes, so bullish at the moment. Again, that 26.50 level, if price breaks back below these lows again, then I'll be actually looking for bearish moves going into next week. But that's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at US 30 and what's been popping here. With US 30, we managed to obviously see some sort of selling moves here and there, but it wasn't enough to get us back to the CPI gap or in this breaker. We did potentially make this buy move up. Looking back at it, we potentially should have held, but we don't, get a bit upset here and there on what could have happened. We took the bullish move. CPI could have easily tanked this back down, but what it did, it left a gap and popped back up for another sort of 5,000 points or whatever however you calculate USD. But in short, we've still got a gap here. If you guys want to see that, you can drop down to the lower time frames, 30, 15. You can see that there's gaps right there that still needs to be filled in, and we have a retest of this breakout right there. So what would I be expecting? I was potentially looking for a sell move on Friday. We did get that towards the end of the day actually. Let's see, could we have got in, or is it kind of a tricky one for us to get in on? Yeah, it's more or less of a tricky one. It wasn't as clear, but we're back down to New York Open here. What we could see is we have some sell side liquidity at equal lows here. What we could see is potentially price just starts to keep falling down throughout the whole of the next day, but we may not get that. What we could get is another high right here, then a break, and then this would be a retest zone for price to then push back down to this way. So going into US30, I'm expecting some bearish moves to start off the week as well, or maybe towards the end of the week, depending which way it goes. Is it bullish then bearish, or is it bearish first then bullish towards the end of the week? That's pretty much it. Looking at the news, inauguration day, I think that's for my boy Trump. But we have 17th of Jan, and that was last week. Pretty much it. I don't think there's much on here for the news. Yeah, pretty much it. Nothing too crazy, but just keep it simple and let's go from there. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And the links are all in the description, guys. I'm going to end it there, not waste any of your guys' time. It's been Oasis FX. Peace out.